Good afternoon, team. Thank you so much for joining. We'll wait for a couple of more minutes for all of the people to join, then we'll get started. Wait for maybe 30 seconds more and then we can get started. Okay, we will get started. Thank you so much, team, for joining in. Welcome to the webinar on frictionless customer experience, a seamless experience for the modern age traveler. I'm so excited to be part of this panel discussion. My name is Sharad. I'm an account manager with Amazon Web Services. I'm based in Chennai. I'm with AWS for more than 4 years now, overall experience of 18 years. I've been with the sales profession for more than 18 years. And one of the primary reasons I choose sales and continue to be in sales is my passion for travel. And as you all know, sales and travel are inseparable. We travel a lot to meet our customers, partners, etc. And every experience is created for every travel is very important, right? And because of that, I'm so excited to learn from the expert panel here. What are some of the trends in the travel industry? What are some of the influencing factors for the modern day travelers? And I hope to gain a lot of insights from this discussion. Let me welcome our panelist, Sethu. Sethu heads the customer success function at Freshworks, and we have Nikhil Sharma, who is the senior manager pre-sales at Knowlarity Communication. Welcome, Nikhil and Sethu, to the panel.
Thanks, Abhi. Thank you.
Thanks.
So I think before we get started, I think we just want to do a quick poll because I think last couple of years have been hard for everyone. I think we were locked up in a room and travels were not there. So just want to understand what was your experience in the last probably 6 to 8 months where things got opened up and where you were able to travel professionally, personally. Just want to do a quick poll on that. It's a very simple poll. Maybe just click your experience and just want to understand how things are going with you all. Can we have the poll, please? Very simple, straightforward question. Just click what was your experience. I would definitely select 1 and 2. Been traveling a lot in the last 8 months. We will maybe keep 30 seconds for you all to answer. Then we'll move on to the discussion. Hope we have enough time to enter the poll. If anybody has not done this, please wait. Great. I think almost 90% of the people saying that they travel personally officially. I think there's no surprise, right? Because recently I've been traveling wherever I go, airport, holidays, destinations, all of the places are crowded. That means travel is back. But the only difference is that there might be a change in the way we expect the travel to happen, the experience to happen because of whatever we went through in the last 2 years. Also, I don't know whether you guys have heard about a recent survey, like people invest more on experience than material possessions recently, right? Uh, uh, the reason for that is even though the material possession you spend a lot of time buying something, but the experience from a travel or an experience from something which you really cherish will last longer. I think that keep people more happier. That very clearly shows that people wanted to invest in experiences, especially travel. So as the number of travelers start to ramp back, I think both the travelers and travel operators are encountering new travel experiences, right? So my question to Nikhil here is that what are some of the emerging trends you are seeing in the travel industry, and how can the industry take advantage of these opportunities to create even more better customer experiences? Because people are more focused on experience now. So Nikhil, can you share some thoughts around it?
Yeah. So in general, there are five customer experience trends which are influencing the travel industry, like the authenticity, responsibility, relevance, simplicity, and the value. So if we talk about authenticity, like while there are a lot of information available online, travelers are less likely to respond to the slick advertising campaigns. Instead, they are looking for authenticity. Like they may see offer online, but they will dig deeper once more information on the destinations, hotels, and activities. They will also search for reviews and see the ratings as well and do the proper comparisons. So like here, the travel industry has the opportunity to showcase the destination in a way, and in the process, they can highlight an authentic travel experience. They may map customer journeys with the pre-purchase board journeys as well. So second would be the responsibility. Like, yeah, obviously, most of the surveys reflect that most travelers will choose the destination or a travel provider that demonstrate a level of sustainability and who is the transparent about how they operate. Right. And the another would be the relevance, like obviously by optimizing digital experience with the relevant informations, ideas, visitors will more likely to buy the plans. I can say the simplicity, like yes, with the life and travel getting more complicated, travelers get demanding simplicity. They won't want to search multiple sites or pages to find the information what they are looking for. And last would be the value, like obviously by considering who is the target segments and what's the important to them, and then customizing the experience based on the informations demonstrate real value, saving people time and efforts, providing them relevant and the useful information, and making the booking and the support process seamless can all contribute to the more conversions. So now continuing to add to the experience majorly, like most of the travelers, they are carrying their phones and PDA devices. They want to board the flight and jump to the rental car or a cab and check in into the hotel by using their mobile devices, right? Post that, they will also know like good places to dine out, best time to visit, etc., etc. Like, so focusing on creating a frictionless digital experience that build the mobile um, uh, will become highly important.
Yeah, I think can't agree more, because there's overload of information and getting the right information is really, really critical. Nikhil, Sethu, what is your thought around it?
Hey, thanks, Sarath. Hey, thanks, guys, for first having me here on this forum, right? So, thanks for putting this together. I think for travel, before I answer this question, I think for travel, there's been last 2 years, I think it's been very tough for the travel industry, right? And I think all of us need to give a huge round of applause for all of us again, because we've survived last 2.5 years. Considering travel industry, right? So almost I think with whatever I read, right? So 100 million people lost their jobs in this particular 2 years, and 47% a drop rate was there in terms of bookings, right? So though drop rates was there in terms of bookings, I think the number of queries in terms of refund, cancellation, that were overwhelming, right? Now coming back to the question, right? how can travel industry take advantage of opportunities to create even better customer experience? I think today, I'll just segment this into two ways, right? Pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, I think customers were dealing in a high-touch customer support experience where for everything and anything and everything, I think customer support intervention was there. And post-COVID, right, there is a demand to ensure that there is a tech touch to it, right? So when I say tech touch and high touch is where a human intervention is required, and tech touch is where bots can come in, right? What's the necessity of having a bot, right? I think in today's world, bots might be a hyped word. It could be a buzzword, but the essential aspect of having bots is majorly to deflect your L1 queries, which could be something like refund or cancellation. So all the administrative work can be reduced if you have bots, right? And on top of it, agents can focus on actual work, and it can't be a cost center anymore, right? So these are the trends that I see. I think the world is changing towards from a high touch to tech touch, and tech touch, because of COVID, it's been accelerated 2 years ahead of us. So that's where we stand. Okay.
Thanks a lot. So I think that leads me to the next question, right? Because as we initially discussed, there's an overload of information. There are dozens of channels, apps, and devices to get the right information and assistance for people, right? So people get lost in terms of where to go and search, which app to use, or which channel the right information comes in. So when it comes to providing, again, a superior travel experiences, how important is omni-channel customer experience? Sedu, I think if you can continue on that, that will really help.
I think it's a good conversation starter, right? I'm pretty sure Nikhil would also add points to that. So I think most of the companies call themselves as omnichannel, right? Where they're not. Right? Today, the USP of Freshworks is omnichannel, meaning we render service which is omnichannel. So we'll have to understand. I think this is for the audience as well. What is the difference between multi-channel and omnichannel, right? So any company, say, let's assume Make My Trip or any company for that matter, I think most of the companies would say that they are omni-channel, but there's a difference between multi-channel and omni-channel. So multi-channel is where I have supports opened up on different lines of forums like, Instagram, WhatsApp, all the digital channels, say email, digital channels in terms of like WhatsApp or in-app chat or whatever we call it, right? So omni-channel is having a system to cater the audience across these channels, right? So it could be irrespective of the source. If they're going to have a system to cater all this information in one single UI, say, for example, if I'm a support agent and if Sarath or Nicholas were to raise a ticket through all these channels, and if I as an agent have a visibility of Sarath and Nikhil going into the other channels and coming into a specific channel like WhatsApp, a single UI vision is omni-channel, right? So I think it's definitely important for organizations moving towards a growth path. You will have to not just open channels for your customers, but also have a nice CX strategy or CX tools with the likes. So there are a bunch of tools, right? So I would again stress on the fact, how well we provide and how best we are in terms of providing these solutions. So a tool like Freshdesk or Freshdesk Omnichannel is what caters to all your needs, right? So you have a bunch of sources where it integrates in one place, and you get to see the 360 information of the customer, and thereby your customer frustration is reduced, right? And we talk about a cliched term, which is be where your customers are available, right? So where your customers tend to go the most. I think not just being available is important, but also having the right set of tool is important, right? So that's my take on that.
I think my understanding was multi-channel and omni-channel were one of the same. So I think I got the differentiator now. Nikhil, what do you think about the omni-channel requirement to improve customer experience?
Yeah, so Setu has already described the omni-channel platform and the multi-channel platform in a way. So yeah, I will add on like for any brand, what exactly really means is meeting their customers on their terms, like everywhere they happen to. So like they can be over the chat, over the WhatsApp, or the emails. They can reach to the centralized number or centralized portal, so where users can help with the particular queries with the specific response. Like if user is having a single unified channel, so like in simple words, Omnichannel is a customer engagement platform, like which get integrated with all the applications. Like for a user, they have to log in on a single unified screen. They don't need to log in into multiple tabs. For operations, they don't need to figure it out like how many users they have to put on a phone, on an email, on a chat. So like by giving all the access to a same user, they can help with the better productivity and better FCR ratios. All these things would be covered in an omni-channel platform. And there
Yeah, great.
would be a few, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so there would be a few benefits for a customer as well as for the agents. Like if for a customers issues get resolved faster, like because agent is having a full information, the complete customer journey is in front of them, right? So customers can move across different channels. No matters like first time customers started their initiated conversation from a bot or from WhatsApp, and then next time they started communicating with the brand over the email, then over the phone. So they can redirect like obviously like for a user, they can see the complete journey. Like first customers come from chat, then from a telephony, then over the email, so they can give the better resolution to the customer. At the same time, customers are entertained and supported with a personalized experience, right? So if users know about already what exactly the issue is, they can reach out all the history and or interactions, and then they can respond back to the customer. Same for agents as well. Like agents can simultaneously log into all the platforms, right? The agents can be monitored on a multi-channel productivity. So like that would be the most of the use cases, like operations are looking for, like they want to see the agents productivity across multi-channels. So that would be the help for the users. So yeah, so this is the
Yeah,
point.
I think it's very relevant, right? Because it's frustrating that you send a request over email, then you call after some time, then people start asking from the scratch again. You have to explain. Disjointed experience in multiple platforms is really a non-starter, right? I think that's where the experience get eroded out if you are not able to capture the moment everywhere. I think most of us would have experienced such issues when we interacted with multiple. So just wanted to again do a quick poll to understand how important is the personalized business communication, right, for us. Maybe just hear from audience, like what do they think about how important it is and how relevant it is for from a current point of view. Maybe we'll have a quick poll like the first one. We will just try to capture the inputs. Yeah. Please share your experience. I'm sure that you would have had multiple interactions, not from a travel perspective, but generic from a customer engagement perspective. You would have interacted with your vendors, service providers, and you would have definitely had a view, like, how important is personalized communication is important, right? Because many times we get an overload of message which is not relevant for us. So what happens with the overload of that messaging, we even tend to lose critical messages, right? Because we think that this is all spam coming in. So what do you think? Is it really important, or is it priority? Yeah. Yeah, I think again, almost 99% feels that it is extremely important or priority to have a personalized message. Sethu, I think you touched upon a subject called bots and automated messaging, etc. Right? I think that like you told about bringing a tech angle to the customer experience post COVID period. So can an AI provide travel agent or a support agent? Can they make every trip memorable with an exceptional customer support? Right? I think when you say that high touch is removed and you're putting a tech touch into the interaction. So can AI really power that exceptional customer support?
See, that's a very good question, Sarath. I think it's important for us to understand. I think it totally depends, right? How AI is going to be successful is totally dependent on how we set up bots. And a bot to be successful, or an AI to be, AI is a continuous learning, right? So it's you'll have to train the bots then and there to ensure that it caters to the right audience. Let me take an example, right? So we have one of our largest customer called Travix, right? So Travix has been using Freshworks for almost, for Freshworks suite of products for almost 4 years, right? So the implementation was done for 3 tools like Freshdesk, Freshcaller, Freshchat, and safe to say things were going great for Travix until COVID, right? So then COVID hit. So it was a change in strategy for them. They had to go adopt digital channels, and they were certain about how they can adopt the digital channel, right? So they had frustrated customers. 70 to 75% drop was there in global booking. But on the other side, the number of queries started increasing, which is not good for an organization which doesn't have enough revenue when it was in a stuffed state, right? So they had to introduce bots here. So that was segmented into multiple ways. Like, there were different lines of business that was segmented in terms of, hey, if it's a refund query, just, hey, this is the self-service article. These are the steps that you will get your refund. There is a cancellation request. Hey, this is what you'll get it. And if you want to reinitiate your refund or rebook your current booking, all these changes, we just implemented a smart flow, which we call a smart flow in bots. So we implemented that in terms of multiple flows, and they deflected around 40 to 50% of their incoming queries, right? So that's how effective AI was, or the machine learning capability was. I'm not saying only Freshworks would do that. Obviously, we do that better. But I think, see, it's important for an organization to know what kind of queries. So just take 5 queries, right? So your top 5 problem statements. And if the top 5 problem statement does not need an agent intervention, that has to go through your bots, right? So deflect as much as queries you can through the bots, set it up in a right way. Just go ahead, analyze in terms of the insights, in terms of what queries it's coming in, how many queries are getting deflected, how many queries are passed on to an agent. And also, I think we need an agent intervention at some point in time, right? So, so there are different generations that we cater to, right? So to the customer support is catered to different generation, right? So there's a set of baby boomers who are between an age group of 65 to whatever the age is. And there is millennials, there is Gen Z. Now, I think we have a group of people that we're dealing with is predominantly millennials and Gen Z, right? So the baby boomer class. I've just dipped down. So we'll have to cater to this audience. And I think this audience and this customer base, they love the bots and whatever the self-services. They want to do all by themselves. So it's really important.
Got it. Thank you, Sedu, for that. And Nikhil, how can organizations overcome the challenges of deploying these AI-powered solutions, right? Because there is no human touch, and it's completely relied on technology, and anything which is not configured right or analyzed right can go wrong, right? So how can they, I would say, overcome the challenges of deploying the solutions, and so that the AI-powered virtual agents are successful? So what sort of steps people take for that?
So yeah, it's like I am a bit biased. Like obviously we cannot implement all, as Setu mentioned. Like we have to find out a main like top 5 reasons or cases like where exactly customer is looking for. Then we can plan a automation for them, like by creating a different kind of journeys. Like obviously starting from a marketing, like we can help customers with the pre-purchase journeys, like where customers can come and like customer acquisition and consideration and conversions can become under pre-purchase journeys. Then we can also design some kind of purchase journeys where we can offer upselling and cross-selling and transaction specific things in a purchase segment. And once the post-purchase, like obviously once the customers book the everything, and then there should be a resolution and the loyalty program we can define. But yes, in our digital age, customer service seems to be shifting constantly towards automation. Customers are saving time through self-service options, IVR menus, finding options on a customer's brand's websites by using FAQs, and most recently chatting with the bots through messaging app. But technology is indeed transforming the customer experience for a greater efficiency. But what about the human touch, as you mentioned? So certainly there are still customer service agents behind these channels. But if customers cannot feel their presence, gain the reassurance of human support when needed, and feel understood as individuals, brand customer relationship could suffer. So customer service can always be about established relationships. So by using a call as a channel, finding a balance between a digital optimization and human attentiveness is a key to great customer experience.
Got it. And Sedu, I think you would have seen a lot of successful implementations of boards at multiple customer places, right? So is it like people customize, configure it for a specific industry kind of a thing, or is it like they start with the basic standard deployment and then learn like what are some of the unique requirements or repeated requirements, and then you do the customization? How does it happen in the real world?
I think so for matured organizations, right? So they'll have a clear plan in terms of, say, if it's going to be travel, they have travel use case level implementation that we have, right? So we give a template in terms of it's going to be travel. Hey, these are the ways you need to implement, right? So not everything that works in travel can work in logistics, or not everything that works in e-com can work in, say, a travel again, right?
Yeah.
So matured organizations does that. For startups and for any new companies, we give them consultative ideas in terms of how well you can do it. So mostly the mid-scale organizations start with generic approach, and they get matured over time, and they implement new stuff. Say, for example, Make My Trip was with us, and we helped them with bots and stuff. They evolved over time, and they wanted to build their own homegrown tool, right? So that's how things progress in terms of onboarding and implementation. But each organization has its own approach. But I would say for an enterprise level accounts, they have a strategy. For mid-grade and small scale companies, we give that consultative experience in terms of how they can implement the product with respect to their vertical, right? It could be last mile, first mile for logistics. It could be travel discovery for travel companies. And it could be a complete travel journey for some companies where we can lay out the customer journey for them. Right?
Got it. Good. And Nikhil, maybe out of curiosity, I am asking one more question. Like, so when do you decide, like, okay, now the tech part is done and a human touch has to come in? Like, how do you take that decision? Like, do you?
Because yeah, so like, because like if you see, like, obviously as mentioned, say, to like most of the customers, they like to go use the bots or mobile apps when they started interacting with it. But some customers are looking for a native languages. They want a human touch, like they need a reassurance. So till the time they will not interact with the customer, like they will with the brand, so they will not get the assurance, okay, that is done, they have confirmed, they have given the confirmation on these things. So that time they would request for a call assurance. Like, there are multiple ways. Like, obviously, for traditionals, there are many brands who are only on telephony, right? They are using a telephony as a channel. But yes, we can also help them to automate by using our solutions, like we call as a IVR deflection. So whenever customer is calling, we can take the consent from them, and we can deflect from complete conversation from telephony to the bot section, where they will find out the complete questions and everything's responses as per their requirement. So that kind of like, I am not saying like AI can completely take over, but yes, there is some kind of human touch wherever required that we can bring into the picture by integrating the Freshdesk system by Knowlarity telephony.
Yeah, even I think we are also seeing a lot of, from our experience, we are seeing a lot of cases where the advanced bots, like what you guys build, has a capability to analyze sentiments, and depending on the sentiment of the customer, it can switch and deflect whether it needs a human touch, etc. Right? I think that's where we are going to, so that at some point of time, if you think that customer is not getting the right answer, what they're looking for, then automatically it can be moved on to an agent-based assistance, right? That we have seen as a trend in the market. And again, Sedu, what are some of the common use cases you see when people start with the bot deployment? What are some of the start? Okay, you say that there is a multiple functions within an organization, and you say that okay, these functions can be automated and save cost and time and experience by implementing bot. So, do you have something very obvious for a bot deployment?
Yeah, see, I think it's important to understand what's the top problem categories that any company gets, right? So let it be a small scale or large scale or mid scale company. So once you know what's your recurring problem statement, I think we can just put in a bot for deflecting at least the basic queries. Say, for example, for a specific, let's consider DTDC as an example, right? So if you want to just reach out to DTDC and ask, hey, where's my order? I think that doesn't need a human intervention, right? So it just need an API call, just put in the tracking ID, just query your database, just give back the answer, and just the query is solved, right? So if you know that kind of queries, you can just cherry pick the top 10 queries and just cherry pick the top 5 ones where it does not need a human intervention at all, right? Tracking order status could be an example. In travel, it could be a discovery of package. So it could be pick your trail or whatever you reach out to. I think the basic mechanism that they should have is have a bot and just ask for whatever the location is. And based on that location, automate your codes, send it to your vendors and just get back the relevant codes and pass it to the lead automatically in the same page, right? And once they select and say, hey, I want to know more information about this particular package, and that's when a sales rep or agent can come in and then talk to the customer, right? So I think organizations should try as much as they can to deflect these L1 queries.
Got it. Great. I think those are actually absurd use cases where there is no point in people waiting in the queue to get to an agent to get a status, right? It very well can enter the details in a bot and then get the answer out. I think there is also a material shift in the way the new age people are interacting, right? Especially the millennials or Gen Z, where they are more keen to get the things done through a chat or a WhatsApp or those kind of channels rather than speaking, right? I think that's what we see a flurry of channels coming up and people interact through those channels most often, right? If you had to give some key takeaways for business to optimize for customer experience, right, especially for this new age travelers, what would be some of your takeaways, Sedu, like for the businesses?
See, I think that's I think this question is definitely going to add value to the entire audience here, right? So if you see the key takeaways for business to optimize customer experience for the new age travelers, I think let's take a step back and understand how is our experience with our day-to-day apps that we use, right? So if you want to get a refund from Swiggy, I think if you have some defect in the item that you've received, it's just a one-click option where it gets validated and you get the refund, right? So similar to that, I think organization has to get matured to cater to every audience that or every customers that they cater to. They'll have to ensure that efforts are extremely less for customers, right? So in our support, we calculate different metrics in terms of customer effort score, in terms of customer contact ratio to bring it down, and customer effort score to see which part of which journey where they are frustrated, and to ensure that we remove those detractors, right? So ensure that you implement an effortless system, in terms of handling your customer experience. Once you implement that system, make sure that you get insights on a recurring basis. It could be weekly, daily, bi-weekly, or whatever you want to just take. Just see if there is progress, right? If there is no progress, I don't think we have implemented a great system. So keep improving on those items that you've implemented. I think that's where organizations should start with. I think digital first transformation is necessary. We talk enough about it, but to at least start is going to be important for organization to cater to the new set of trends that we're seeing in travel, especially.
Yeah, I think great. I think if it is going to be a heavy lifting and a lot of task involved, then definitely the effect will be against it going to aid the digital transformation efforts. I think it has to be simple, it has to be customizable. More than that, I think one point you mentioned is very important, right? It has to be on a continuous feedback based mechanism, right? We have to improve the experience on a feedback. If you're not able to capture the feedback, we will again get into some sort of a lethargic kind of an engagement, right? So that's very critical. Nikhil, how can businesses optimize the customer experience? Like, what do you think? What they should do in the current world or in the current trends? What should they do to optimize the customer experience? What all I would say initiatives they can take from there and to improve the customer experience?
So like the first thing, like as Setu mentioned, like to serve customers better, brand should have the omni-channel solution should be present there. From any medium, customer can reach out to the brand at the same time. The agents and the representatives should have the complete interaction. So like obviously, like if customers are already having a multi-channel solutions, like they have a ticketing solution, they have a telephony solution, they have a chat solution, they will start with the QBM, like quality based messaging solution, like where WhatsApp is giving the opportunity to the business to reach out the customers in a better way. And because once you started initiating, you can choose one of the platform. Let's say for a marketing, you will just start with the QBM, and whenever you realize this, because QBM is giving you option like to how exactly how much messages need to be triggered to that particular person. So that kind of governance should be available in the system. And then once you reach out to the customers, you will see how many customers are just clicking on that link, how many are going to visit that from that message to the website. So on the basis of that, then you can start putting journeys, board journeys for that particular things. Let's say you have run a campaign, there is a specific link and you want to track that link. On that particular link, you can just create a journey. If you see there are a lot of replies or response coming on that particular campaign, then you can choose wisely. Okay, on these kind of campaigns, I am getting this much kind of feedbacks, and then I should there should be a bot available. Then user can choose that, okay, this is how exactly it works. Now in later on, they can also go for a customer experience, like they can open up that same WhatsApp channel for raising a ticket or a case, or they can reach the users or a brand by sending a queries over the bot or over the WhatsApp. And whenever bot is not able to respond that, then there should be option that that conversation should get transferred to the user, so they can see that last bot interaction, and then they started giving responses back to the customers. And another would be the, like as I mentioned, like how business addresses customers journeys. Like as I mentioned, there are three journeys, three different stages: pre-purchase, purchase, and post-purchase. So once users decide, like businesses decide how exactly they need to map and what is the exactly requirement, then we can help them in a better way.
Got it. I think a few things I think I got it clarified. One, multi-channel is not omni-channel. I think omni-channel is something which people should look at, because otherwise the unified experience is not going to be there. The communication has to be personalized. I think if you are not going to get a personalized message, people are not interested in mass messaging, right? It has to be specific to their needs and their probably demography, age, location. All those matters when a message is getting delivered to the user. Otherwise, it's not going to be valued at. And all the conversation has to be context based, right? I think people should be aware what is the context in which somebody is trying to reach out. In any of the channels, right? I would have interacted through chat, then I would have come on a call. So if the context is missing, then it will be a bad experience for the customer. And finally, I think we should look at automation, because automation is going to help in terms of, one, obviously for mundane tasks, like an automation can reduce the job on the agents. Number two, it can accelerate the responses, it can improve experience. And I think the bots are intelligent enough to understand when do they need to handhold or hand over the conversation to the human agent, so that it can bring the human touch. I think these are some of the key learnings for me. I think these are very critical to make sure that the new age travelers customer experiences are improved, right? So I think thank you so much for all the inputs. I think we will have one last poll to the audience, whether how do they find these solutions? I think are the solutions they find useful? Have they implemented all the solutions, or do they think the need for the solution to be deployed to improve the customer experience? We'll do that poll and get some insights from the audience here. We will just list the poll question. Please share your view in terms of the solutions. I think multiple insights have been shared by Nikhil and Sedu here. Some of them might be, you would experience that. Some of them might be in use in your organization. So how do you think these solutions are going to help to improve the customer experience journey of your organization?
This is basically a rating for us, so I think you should be mindful. But anyway,
hope we'll get a good rating. I think Nikhil and Sedu, I think we have at least able to convey what is really the trend in the market and what exactly customers are looking for. I think 83% of the respondents believes that it was really helpful. I think we will move on to a Q&A session. But before that, Nikhil and Sedu, any final thoughts you want to share with the audience here in terms of the overall trend and what they should look at in few lines? Maybe I'll start with you, Sedu.
Yeah, I think they should have like as I said, a clear plan, a clear vision in terms of how they want to just do customer experience. Just follow the path of somebody who's done it in the market in a similar scale. Like don't get bots just that you'll have to get into it, but just get into bots if you know what your problem statement are, and if you're going to WhatsApp as a floodgate. I know there's a question from Sam who's asked how does it differ from WhatsApp integration. But I don't know what I mean. Like if you're asking about omni-channel integration, I think WhatsApp integration in terms of any SaaS tool, right? We have a direct integration with WhatsApp, which is on Fresh Chat and Fresh Desk, right? So we have an integration where all the chats can come into this and that can be converted to tickets. So that's why we stand. But I have nothing else. Just have a clean strategy, have a clean vision. That's exactly what we need to.
And Nikhil, what do you think?
Yeah, so like obviously like definitely because in a telephony it's a great problem areas. Like whenever customer is coming with the problem area, so we have to think about like how exactly we can solve with that problem, and definitely we will go with the consultation approach, so we can help you customer like what exactly they are using and where is the gap, and then we try to find out all these problems and solve all these things by implementing a better solution. And
Great.
yes, obviously, omni-channel is the good to go solution.
Definitely, definitely. I think we have one question on the chat before we open the live questions. The question is very interesting. Why public transport not integrated with seamless concept? I think we all wanted to have that seamless experience in public transport, but any specific reason you could think of, Setu?
I think it's dependent on the budget that the government provides to implement all the tech tools, right? I think there is a public-private apps that you might have seen. There's an app called Chalo, which is tells you which bus is near to you, which bus comes into your route, and all that. So it's getting there, but in terms to make it public, I think it's going to take some more time, right? I think it's just about investment with all these SaaS platforms and tools. Scopes.
Yeah, it's a region based only, because if I see I'm in Dubai right now, and here it's a completely got integrated. So RT has just provide all the informations to all the providers. So whenever who is want to launch or do the integration, they can easily do that. So here that functionality is available, but yes, it's a region based or some regulations of the different countries. It varies.
Yeah, I think governments are making the effort to improve the experience, and I'm sure that we will see that scale happening in many of our public, not only transport system, but on the other public offerings as well. That we will have the seamless experience coming in soon. We can open the floor for live questions if anybody has to share any questions with the panelist.
There was one question, Sarath, says, how does this differ from integrating WhatsApp bot in Q&A? See, I think if you're talking about a WhatsApp bot in particular, right? So we have, the regular chat product, which can cater to all the default queries that is coming in from your WhatsApp and website and all that. On top of it, if you want to deflect these queries, that's when a bot kicks in, right? So if you want to integrate bots on WhatsApp, it's the first level of deflection. And second level of deflection is when it gets passed down to the agent, right? So it's WhatsApp works with Fresh Chat and FreshBot, which is our suite of products. So, yeah.
Okay. I think Nagendra Prasad has posted a question just mentioned with regard to Europe and US visa delays. Nagendra, can you share some more context? I think the context is missing, or if you are okay, you can come on, unmute and probably talk, share the question. Nagendra Prasad, hope you can hear us.
I don't think
Or
they
you can
have
type.
unmute. Yeah, I don't think they have an option to unmute.
Or you can just probably add the context a
Just
bit.
type it out. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not able to understand what exactly you meant by this.
Sure.
We'll wait for maybe 10 seconds. I don't know whether he's trying to enter it.
Yeah, if you have any other questions, go ahead, guys.
No worries. I think in case you have any queries or questions related to the solutions or in terms of an advice or a consulting, like how to go about this, I think both Nikhil and Sedu and his team will be available. I think you can reach out through the contacts shared in the webinar, and they will try to connect with you to share more details. Happy to help in terms of any conversation which can help you to improve your customer experience. And thank you so much, Nikhil and Sedu. I think there's a lot behind, right? Because we see as a consumer, we see from the other side, like the experience is bad, experience is good, but what all things goes behind that and how it is powered is really interesting, right? Because it's not easy, it's not simple. A lot of efforts have and solutions have to go into the backend to get this experience going, right? Thank you so much for sharing all the insights, and it was wonderful talking. I'm sure that the audience here also would have gained a lot of insights, and definitely, looking forward to more such conversations in the near future.
Thanks, Sarat. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for giving.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.